Hello, hello, and welcome to Let Supreme Ghost Thief 2. So here we are, back again, having finished Thief Gold and Death's Cold Embrace. I said I was going to start Thief 2, and that's what we're doing today. So, if you are a returning viewer, thank you for your support. If you are here for the first time, a big welcome. Please leave a comment telling me about how you came across my channel. I'm always interested in knowing that. And for you new viewers, I play Thief, and this series is going to be Thief 2. And I play it with kind of a special playstyle in mind called Supreme Ghost. So just real quick, the Ghost mode, which is pretty old now, it's almost 20 years old, is a mode where you play the game without dealing any damage, without trying to take any damage, and without getting seen or getting heard. Basically not getting caught. And that is to a second level alert, a hunt mode we call it. Supreme Ghost is a more challenging mode, where you add the fact that you can't take any first alerts, you cannot douse any torches or remove any lights whatsoever, you cannot use moss arrows, you cannot trigger any traps, you cannot exploit the engine in any way, and a few other rules that I'll get to as we go along here. But it's pretty challenging, but that's the way I like playing it. So if you like to watch those kind of things, then try it out and hopefully you enjoy it. Before I get into this game right here, and as you can see, we're starting with a demo mission today called an Unwelcome Guest. But before that, I wanted to let you guys know and give a shout out to Hal Emmerich, or Emmerich maybe it's pronounced. I will link to his video in the video description, because for each mission I try to come up with a ghost challenge where I encourage my viewers to try to test their ghosting skills by trying a challenge that is a part of the mission that I'm playing. And he actually made a compilation of every single ghost challenge that I made for my Thief Gold run, and he put them together in one video with descriptions as well along the way of what the challenge was and how to deal with it, how to solve it. So a very nice video there that I very much enjoyed when I watched it. I've been wondering if people have even cared about my challenges, but I'm happy to see that it has. So I will try to step up my game a little bit when it comes to the challenges, the ghost challenges for this playthrough. I'll try to put a few more ghost challenges in and try multiple per mission if I can find them. So yeah, check out that video, and thank you for that upload there, Hal. I really appreciate it. So we're going to start today by playing on Expert. That's a requirement for the Ghost rules. And we're going to watch the briefing for an Unwelcome Guest.
Sometimes living in this city is more trouble than it's worth. There's a new sheriff in town, and he's waging his own personal war against crime. Dodging the law is part of the game, but Sheriff Gorman Trueart's changed the rules. He's enlisted the aid of a separatist sect of the Hammers called Mechanists. Every bit as fanatical as Hammerites, and twice as industrious. They've been supplying Trueart with some really nasty contraptions, like slaves of copper and brass that hunt and kill at his bidding. Tonight I even the odds. The Mechanists have set up a shop in a wealthy section of town called Dayport. Word has it that somewhere inside their tower are the plans for a new creation. A toy for the sheriff that's so deadly it will bring every honest thief in the city to his knees. I intend to break in and steal the schematics before the project ever hits the assembly line. But there's more to it than goodwill for my fellow criminals. To win supporters, the Mechanists are throwing a posh banquet for the local nobility. And I've just invited myself. With so many rich countesses and lords in one place, I'll be like a kid in a candy store. The streets are pretty hot these days, so I'll take to the rooftops and approach the tower from above. If I cut through a building or two, I won't win any popularity contest, but then they don't call it the Thieves' Highway for nothing.
Awesome. Okay. So, for those of you that haven't played this demo mission, you might know, though, that it is basically an early version, an alpha version of Life of the Party, which is mission 10 of the main missions for Thief 2. But it is different enough for me to warrant this a separate playthrough. Most of the objectives are actually different. The main layout of the city, of course, is almost identical, but there are buildings that you can get into here that you can't get into in Life of the Party, and vice versa. The tower itself, Angelwatch, is much smaller in that you can only get into 2 of the floors. Many of the lower floors are not accessible. Other than that, most of the areas are the same, but there are a couple of key differences in how you can get to the tower. There's actually 2 ways of getting to the tower here, only one in Life of the Party. I'm not going to talk too much about comparing it to Life of the Party. I want to see this as its own mission, because it's very good. And here what we have to do then on Expert. The streets are crawling with the sheriff's men these days. Keep to the rooftops to avoid arrest. A wealthy exporter is in Dayport for a few days on business. Lucky for you, he's storing a bounty of uncut diamonds in the Dayport Trader's Bank. Grab them. Your supplies are starting to dry up, and Castle Carlysle has a well-stocked armory. Break in and equip yourself. We actually don't have to equip ourselves or have to take anything, we just have to break in. That'll check off that objective. Infiltrate the Mechanist tower. Locate and steal the Mechanist schematics. You claim you're the best, now prove it. Take to the Thieves' Highway and grab 1,700 worth of loot. True professional doesn't leave a mess, don't kill anyone. When your objectives have been completed, get out of the tower and back to the city. If you remember from Life of the Party, you actually have to get all the way back to the beginning of the mission, but that we don't have to do here. Now, this mission can be ghosted. It's a little bit more difficult to ghost it than it is, or so in New Dark, than it is in the original release. This mission here was recently updated, or 5 years ago, but I haven't played it since then, so this is my first time playing the updated version. And in that version, a couple of fixes were made. Now all the loot is available, for example, and a couple of other smaller things were fixed. But now it's also implemented in New Dark, and New Dark changes one little thing slightly towards the end, but I'm happy to say that I was still able to ghost it. It is not Supreme Ghostable. What that means is that we cannot play the mission through and get all the objectives and not bust any Supreme rules. We have to bust a couple of times. It's in the same area, but a few times from the same guard. We have to skip loot though, so we're not going to be able to take all the loot, not even for Ghost. But I always show you all the items and all the loot. I show you all the readables and everything that I know about the mission. I'll give a little bit of my opinion on a few things too. I'm not going to rate this mission with a score because it's a demo. It's not an official release of the full game. So, but anyway, let's get going. So we're not allowed to buy anything for Supreme. You are allowed to buy something for Ghost, but since I'm playing Supreme Ghost, then we can't really use much anyway. You can use rope arrows, but we have 5. We're going to need a few, but we don't need more than 5, so we're good to go there. Okay, so you can see right away that this is very similar to Life of the Party. Got the bell here. I think in the original release this one was actually swinging. but I guess that's not present in New Dark. So we're carrying flares, which is completely useless. Flash bombs or lockpicks, and that's it. And for weapons, rope arrows, sword, broadheads, which we don't need, water arrows, moss arrows, and that's it. Now the map is also identical to Life of the Party's map. So we start in the bell tower. We are not allowed to get to the streets, but we're sort of following the main street here along the way, Grand Modern Road. We're going to get to Castle Van Vernon and Master Willie's Manor in not too long, and Fieldstone Estate. That's all in the south district of Dayport. There's some apartments over here that we have to go through to get to Castle Carlysle. There's a necromancer spire here, sort of central in the map. The Shemenov's estate is sort of isolated a little bit on the east side, so there's only one entrance and exit from there. You can go all the way through and come out somewhere else, but we can't do that for Ghost. I'll show you why not. Sir Colin's Keep is right up north of this. The Grand Modern Road continues, and then you have the bank, Dayport Traders Bank, which you actually have to access from the west side, but you can come out on the east side too. And then the perpendicular street here is the Baron's Way, which we have to cross on a thin ledge. This is in the northern district. You can get to the tower in two ways, through Lady Louisa's suite, which we can't do for Ghosts, but there's another way just north of the greenhouse that takes us through a guard station to the ballroom entrance, it says, close to the Mechanist tower. So there's a ladder up to the ballroom. You can enter there, or you can enter through an access hatch on the eastern side. So only the ballroom floor and the 8th floor is accessible in this mission, and the main office is on the 8th floor. And there's also a roof in the Mechanist tower that you can get to, actually. I'll talk about that once we get there. So here we go.
Hey, the city looks almost bearable from up here.
Yeah, it does. Give it a real save here. Slide over here real quick. We have to be careful not to get caught by this guard here. This little trough here, there's 2 water arrows. Here we can jump up. Here. There's a guard that pivots. The other patrolling guard, there's an archer, and he has arrows that you can pick.
Hey! What?
He heard that. So we get first alerts. We're not allowed to do that for Supreme, so then I have to reload. I actually... I'm gonna obviously try to reload as little as possible, but if we get busted, we have to reload. He saw me there too.
Turn around very slow.
Missed my... guards that randomly pivot, they're actually very difficult to deal with because they're unpredictable, which of course makes them more realistic.
Huh?
So now he turned back again before I was able to jump there.
Huh?
So he cannot seem to pivot back when I need him to.
Did that shadow?
Yeah. I don't know if I should have saved here, but I can still try to get out of it.
Hey!
Sometimes they don't catch you if you are right next to them. Like 90 degrees.
Huh? Don't think you can just...
Man, this is really bad. I'm usually not this bad at playing. These guys are not giving me any breaks here.
What was that?
And now I can't jump. Man, this is not a good start.
Guys, I gotta get home. The dinner is waiting and I'm starving. I haven't eaten since breakfast.
Finally, man. In here there's a chest with 5 broadheads. Now we can actually continue here. And here's a guy with a purse. First piece of loot. And in this chest is a stack of copper coins. So that's total 15 there. So he's the one with the arrows if you want it. I don't go for max pickpockets. I know some of you do that, but I don't care too much about pickpockets unless it's loot or if it's keys that I need. For Supreme, we're not allowed to pick up anything that we don't need. And what we do need, we have to return if we can return it. So now we are moving north and then west. There's another archer with arrows if you want that. He turns around though, so he could have been facing my way. But I just wanted to show you those. I don't need those. There's a guard down there that can catch us. It is smart to real save pretty often. There was also a cheese in that servant's room, by the way. In New Dark, you can, or in Thief 2, you can eat food and actually regain health from that. Okay, we're supposed to be able to mantle there. There's an open window there, I'll go there next. This archer also has arrows. I think this one is pickable. We're gonna pick that one. Lockpicks is okay for Supreme, but I don't like to pick locks that I don't have to pick, and I like to be able to relock everything. This one has is also pickable, and it has 2 flash bombs. the guard we saw outside on the balcony earlier, he will come in here and turn around. Grab this artifact here. See, I'm thinking that maybe we can do that. Yeah. So we can grab the arrow again. I'm thinking maybe I can stand here if he passes. So if I show you up here, is there where the archer was that we could steal the arrows from behind him. Okay, there we go. So I like to play Thief Gold and Thief 2, at least the original missions, with the Necro Age mod, but I decided not to do that for this mission here, because we're going to play Life of the Party later, and I kind of wanted that to be the first time we see this map in Necro Age. So for this one we'll see the original textures. They are updated with newer versions, but they're pretty much true to the originals. Head in here now. So we are moving our way, I think it is west. So we are now in, we're now in a building right here, I believe. Okay. Come into this room right here. There's a guard here. There's a door right behind him. And up here on the ceiling, you can see there's a hole on that wall. That's actually a hole that's boarded up by 2 planks, and the only way to get through there is to smash the planks, but that's considered property damage, and property damage is not allowed for Ghost or Supreme. So we can't go that way, and I'll show you later the opposite side of that, where that leads to. But here's actually my first Ghost challenge for this mission. And this is an easy one. I'll try to sort of rank the challenges. Basically what I want you guys to do is to go through this room and leave through that door there without busting Supreme. So without taking any bust to Supreme, I want you guys to get in behind that guard and leave through that door without him saying anything, without him giving a first alert, without him doing anything else that could bust Supreme. So that'll be the first challenge for this mission. So we're soon going to come up on the famous archer fight that you might remember from Life of the Party. It's the same fight here in this mission, but one of the audio lines for one of the individuals involved is different. So this is the door that I wanted you to get through from the other side here. And up here is a healing potion in a footlocker if you want it. Again, I don't take anything I don't need, and I don't need any potions. You're not allowed to drink any potions for Supreme, and for Ghost it's not recommended. So we're gonna listen to this right now. We have to head through a door. So there are 2 archers in this tower, and then the 2 we saw from the other side. They will start fighting after a long conversation. And at the end of that, I would like these 2 archers to survive. Or at least one of them. If not both. Because I need to leave through a window right behind them. Like, literally straight west from them. And that you can't do if the other 2 archers survive. You might be able to sneak in behind the other archers. I don't think I've
telling you that the only
tried
stench
that.
naughtier than your rotting burrick of a master is the liquor on his fetid breath. If he comes near Lady Van Vernon again, we'll boil his knickers. Oh, mighty fine words coming from a knock-kneed inbred page boy such as yourself. Our good Master Willie wouldn't be caught near that frumpy little swallow. You're holding your back at the end of a halberd. How dare you defile the name of someone so good and virtuous as the Lady An angel so pure the heavens couldn't hold her. Your lady? An angel? You're lucky the dockside whore keeps on bashing down your lady's door for stealing their clientele. Why, just last night I saw her out back warming up the stable boy. Such slander will not be tolerated while we're on watch. You'd best run and rescue your helpless limp lord before he founders in his own vomit, or wakes up naked in a hen coop. Scurry off, or you'll acquire some unnecessary ventilation. Is that a threat, you shriveled old maid? You gonna prick us with your sewing needles? On this side of the street, we shoot like soldiers, so don't make promises your arrows can't keep. You've gone too far this time, you camel-mannered, tunic-wedding mollycoddle! An arrow in the throat ought to shut you up! Hey! Thee! Help! Help! I think a baby.
This looks pretty good. That's usually what happens. Yeah.
That sounded funny.
Come
So
on out and play.
What we have to do now, we have to just wait for them to settle down, and that'll take a while. We have to go through the window on my right here.
Smell down here.
And now, right now we're dark. So I want to make sure that I
Keep your
don't
eyes
get
open.
caught here.
There's trouble.
They are seeing the bodies in front of them right now.
I'll find you eventually.
They can't see me here, so. I saved there because sometimes when they go back to their position, they are positioned farther back than where they were originally, which means that they will catch me when I go through the window. I don't want that.
Sneak hideout in the sewers.
Okay, I hope that's okay. I think maybe that's okay.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So all of these 4 archers have arrows that you can pick. There's a lot of pickpockets in this mission. I think there's 28. And you can get all of them for ghost. But getting these 4 here is tough. Because you have to sort of get them. You have to take these 2 during the fight. And you have to hope that these 2 guys both survive, and then get those later on from behind them. And that is very rare, but it's possible. I don't know if I've actually done it, but it is possible. Okay, so I'm going to climb down a little bit so that I can save on the rope here. It's not smart to save on a rope, but I'm doing that now. We'll see. Yeah, I think we're good. Here's a purse. And that is worth 100, total 200. Good, good, good. Another area we're coming up on that is a little bit tricky is the area with the Housebreakers. But that's not just yet. So this route here we can't take because there's a guard right there. So now we're coming up on where the archers were, which I guess is the Van Vernon, Lady Van Vernon archers. They are the ones that died. So in the stats we might get bodies discovered by enemies stat because the archers were spotted here when they were dead. Here's a gold goblet worth 25, total 225. How do we get up here again now? Oh yeah, that's right. Hear a spider here. So this is Fieldstone Estate. Right here. And we're going to need to take some loot in there. And the door to that estate is pickable, but it's also responding to the estate key. Which one of the swordsmen here carries. So we're going to have to take that as he passes. The other one is an archer who has more arrows. So yeah. Here. I think the entrance is on this side actually. Yes it is. Oh yeah, there is a patroller in there. This vase here. Three stacks of silver coins there, total 361. There we go. Okay, so this is the guard that had the key. So for Supreme, you have to return everything you don't need. I don't need that key anymore. Oops, 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 oops. And we have to return it to his patrol route if we end up taking it from his belt, which we did. Okay, now it's going a little bit smoother. Hiccup there at the very beginning, which I did not anticipate. But okay, there's a building down here that we are getting to. So I'm going to listen to the conversation of the Housebreakers now, because sometimes they don't trigger their conversation if we get there from the other side. But I'm going to reload.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole of Dayport.
Well, it's dark, and I can't seize when I'm lifting.
What you'll see is the haft of my sword across your brow if you don't hurry things up. There's a guard in the building, and we're both skewered if he hears you.
All right. But I got me a question. Do we want the gold or the jewelry?
We want whatever you can carry, you taffer. Now hurry it along before we're seen. Or maybe you want to spend a lifetime or two in the sheriff's company?
The sheriff? Where? Oh, just hurry it up already.
Well, well, housebreakers. How quaint.
So, what we need to do is take the loot during that conversation, when we come in from the inside, but I'm not going to do that from the outside, because that's not possible. Let's see here. Where are we now? Okay, yeah, on this side. Right.
Who's there? Is someone
See,
there?
there's a guard in there
Here now.
Who's that there?
that can catch me,
Identify
and
us.
those guards can catch me, so I gotta be a little bit careful here. Good. Okay. All right. In this building here, there is a stack of gold coins in a chest, and there are 5 flares. But we can't get in there for ghosts, because you have to break the window. That's property damage. I have actually been able to clip through this window. You can use a technique, you know, that actually Psychosis from the forums informed me about, and I managed to get through this window once, but that's an engine exploit, and it's allowed for Ghost as a last resort, but it's not allowed for Supreme, so I'm not going to do that here. I've only been able to do it once, so it's not predictable enough for me to do it in any run. But you can go through the window and then possibly get the loot for Ghost, and then clip back out maybe. I haven't done that, but I'm assuming it is possible, so somebody might want to try that maybe, but we're going to skip that loot. So that's the first loot skipped, and that's actually worth 150. Down here there is a spider that sees us pretty easily, but we can drop down without getting spotted. I know that because there's a loot down there. There we go. There's a ring over here. Worth 25 total, 386. There's also 2 moss arrows. One here and one over in that corner, hanging from the ceiling. Now we're going to need to get back out of here. For that we need a rope arrow. Why do I only have 4 rope arrows? Maybe I did not grab my rope arrow earlier. Then I need to go back and do that. So that he sees. I should have 5 rope arrows. That's worrying, because I'm not allowed to leave any rope arrows for Supreme. We can't Supreme the mission anyway, so it wouldn't bust the mission that way. He always hears that. In Thief 2, walking on wood is a lot louder than what it was in Thief Gold. Or Thief 1. gotta figure out where that rope is here. Where's that rope? Did I only start the mission with 4? This is so weird. Did I not pick it up? Did I not pick it up? Oh, and now those disappear. I didn't pick it up from here. Okay, man. Whew, I'm sure that some of you noticed that and then like yelling at me for not picking it up again. Man, well then I have to do that. That is poor, poor ghosting right there. That is poor ghosting. That I can't do. I gotta... Gotta jump over here then, or do a rope arrow there. I'm happy I went... That's why I always go over how many rope arrows I have, so that I mentally know in case I forget that. So I don't want those to disappear. That also happens often. This is so annoying. Can I not get in there now, maybe? Come on. This is frustrating. This is very frustrating. Okay, I think I can get back out that way. Let's hope so. Those disappear too. Okay. Well, I don't think that's a problem. Guess I can block one and then take the rope. And then the other one appears when I close it again. Then I can probably get out that way, can't I? There we go. Whew. It's Friday. It's late. I worked all week. That's my excuse. I'll take it. I'll take it. We're gonna head up here, actually. Okay, Be a little bit careful walking through this metal shaft here, because the other guards can hear us through multiple walls of solid stuff. If we can hear them, they can probably hear us. Oh, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Gonna real save it here because we're coming up on the Housebreaker scenario. Mantling from ladders is extra difficult without sort of making that noise. Oh, we could just do that. So we're gonna head through here, and I'll show you this place a little bit later. This is pretty promising, actually. Oh. Come on. Yeah, I want to move that back to where it was. So this is the house with the Housebreakers. Not sure if I get caught here.
Who's there?
I do. Here, I'm pretty sure I get caught, so but we'll try.
What's there?
Yeah.
Thought I saw something.
So we have to sort of sneak by him because, and like, what I've seen is occasionally he ends up entering the room with the Housebreakers and ends up fighting them before I get here. Last time I played, either he was killed or he had killed one of the thieves. So if he's killed one of the thieves, then usually you go in there and grab the loot with no problem, but if he dies, then you can't do that because they won't play their conversation and you have to grab the loot while they're talking.
Thought I saw something.
So we are pitch black. We're pitch black, and we still get caught. And there's no lights down here whatsoever. I guess that's more realistic, really. That's that way.
Who's there?
And he hears the wood too. Yeah, no, my conclusion is that Thief 2 is more difficult than Thief Gold. That Thief 1 is.
Hey, stop! Don't move!
Sneaking past guards, surfaces. You know, the guards can't bump into you and still not alert. Those kind of things.
Intruder!
Yeah. We have to just follow him all the way up then, I guess. I've spent so much time on this, I might as well have just done that from the beginning.
Who's there?
Good guard. Should give him a raise.
And the people up above me get all the light and get all the favors, and I don't have another thing to eat in days. Hey!
So we should get in there in that corner.
Who's there?
Come on. Okay, fine. I really hope I, for some reason, haven't triggered their conversation now. I don't think I do. Should get 2 pieces of loot in there. Gold coins and a ring.
What's going on? Quiet, you lumbering dogs.
So he alerted to me there. That's not good.
Who's there?
Oh. Why is he coming back up? Huh? No. What? What is going on here?
Hello? Shh, intruder!
What on earth is going on? I have had problems with this guy before, and I can't stand it. Is he gonna, like, he has a messed up patrol route now. That's what it is. Yeah.
What's there?
Yeah, now he sees me regardless.
Nothing here now.
Okay. Then I'm gonna have to skip this whole thing. Not the whole thing, but skip his area. I have to do it a different way. That's okay. Sometimes things like that can happen, Supreme. That's... I don't edit my videos, so this is the raw deal you get. So he's going down. I'm gonna wait a little bit until I save it again now. There.
Hey, did you see that? Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole day.
So I don't know if I can get in here now without... What can I do? Can I do something here to trigger this?
You make a lot of noise for a guy that doesn't want to be seen.
What I want to do is I want to trigger that conversation and then rush up there and get the loot while they're talking, because then they won't alert to me. That's the whole point.
You see that?
Yeah, so he will alert to me regardless now. Then I can't do that. I have to trigger that conversation outside.
Hey, I'm not deaf, you know. Quiet, you lumbering ox.
Yeah. That's what I have to do. If I want that loot, which I do. So this is new territory for me.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole of Dayport.
Well, it's dark, and I can't see.
So I need to get up to that corner and then drop down because that's dark. I need to do that and get back here and get their loot before the guard comes back.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole of Dayport.
Well, it's dark, and I can't see.
So this is going to take a few tries. I'm sorry, folks. I wasn't anticipating this. And I hope also I will be free of that guard there.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole of Dayport.
Well, it's dark, and I can't seize what I'm lifting.
What you'll see is the haft of my sword across your brow. If you don't hurry
Hello?
things up.
And now he comes, because he comes right back up, doesn't he? Is he going to have a messed up patrol again? Is that the point?
Who's there? Is someone...
Yeah, because he's not on his way down now, which he should be. I'm going to have to see if his patrol is messed up again. If it is, I'm going to have to reload a real save and do this a little bit differently and do this a little bit quicker here. To time it slightly differently. And that's just how it is. I mean, this is, like I said, this is Supreme Ghosting. And running into some problems here that I didn't anticipate, but that's okay. Okay, so his patrol route is not messed up. That's good. I save it there and I load it. It's still good. Okay, perfect. That's good, then we can do it. Then we're gonna do it.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole Dayport. Well, it's dark, and I can't seize what I'm lifting. What you'll see is the haft of my sword across your brow if you don't hurry things up. There's a guard in the building, and we'll skewer it if he hears you.
Right, all right. But ask me a question. Wants the gold?
Jewelry. Want whatever you can carry, Tapper. Now hurry it along before we're seen. Or maybe you want to spend a lifetime or two in the sheriff's company?
Too many damn rats around here.
Oh, wow. Have to be quicker.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the...
The other guard on the other ceiling roof now caught me. That guard.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole Dayport. Well, it's dark, and I can't seize what I'm lifting. What you'll see is the haft of my sword across your...
Hello? Show yourself. Who goes there? Hey!
He's there. Okay, I don't think he's gonna come back quick enough here. Yes, they hope not.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole Dayport. Well, it's dark, and I can't seize what I'm lifting. What you'll see is the haft of my sword across your brow.
Sir? Was that you?
He hears it.
All right, all right.
Seems
But
quiet
ask me a
enough
question.
now.
Do he wants the gold? Or the jewelry?
We want whatever you can carry, you Tapper. Now hurry it along before we're seen. Maybe you want to spend a lifetime or two in the sheriff's company?
The sheriff? Where? Oh, just hurry it up already.
Well, well, housebreakers. How quaint.
I'm getting too jumpy.
Oh, man.
My eyes must be playing tricks on me.
So he does alert then during the conversation, then we can't take it. I'll try this a couple more times because I haven't experimented much with this.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole of Dayport. Well, it's dark, and I can't seize what I'm lifting. What you see is the haft of my
Sir?
sword across your brow.
How
Was
is
that
he
you?
hearing that? I mean, I didn't think that wood was sort of a quiet surface.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket.
I can't do that clunk there.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough... Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole of Dayport. Well, it's dark, and I can't seize what I'm lifting. What you'll see is the haft of my sword across your brow if you don't hurry things up. There's a guard in the building.
Question. Do he wants the gold? Or the jewelry?
We want whatever you can carry, you Tapper. Now hurry it along before we're seen. Or maybe you want to spend a lifetime or two in the sheriff's company?
The sheriff? Where? Just hurry it up already.
Well, well, housebreakers. How quaint.
What's there?
Oh, come on! Ah, I didn't get an alert there either. Oh,
Quiet,
that's
you
so
lumbering ox.
frustrating.
You're making it...
It's just the timing of that guard is so horrible right now.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making
Why do I get that click clunk there? I don't get it.
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole of Dayport. Well, it's dark. I can't see you. What you'll see is the haft of my sword across your brow if you don't hurry things up. There's a garden built in obscure if he hears you.
All right. But I got me a question. Do we want some gold or the jewelry?
We want whatever you can carry, you tapper. Now hurry it along before we're seen. Maybe you want to spend a lifetime or two in the sheriff's office. Just hurry it up already.
Well, housebreakers. How quaint.
I'm getting too jumpy.
Yeah, see, he gives that alert. He does give that alert even if you run in there during their conversation, and you cannot go in there from the front door and trigger their conversation without getting a first alert initially. But that's, I mean, that's okay. You can do it for Ghost, but you cannot do it for Supreme. That's just how it is. So at least I experimented now to figure that out. Normally this is the kind of thing I would do during playtesting, but now you guys got to see me doing this during my recording, and that's okay. So I'm a little bit wiser now, I guess, than I was originally. So we're gonna have to skip that loot. Loot you can take for Ghost, but not Supreme then. That's okay. That's a ring worth 100. And there's a stack of gold coins worth 25. So that's 125 that you have to skip there. Okay. I want to go through here then. There's a gold plate. That's worth 50. So I just got to calculate, because now we're going to have 125 less than what I thought we were going to have. So now we can jump into, this is the necromancer spire. In the middle here. Now, we are going to head east and then north up to the tower. We're not going to hit Castle Carlysle right now. Because the key for that armory is in the tower. So we have to go back to the armory later. Okay, in this room here, there's only a cheese of interest. Besides, there's a hidden book. And that actually opens a panel below this elevator. Oh. Bad. We have to do that. And then we have to do that. Yes. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. What's this? Yeah, so this elevator was... Okay, I gotta figure out how this works afterwards. Okay. In this chest here, there is a stack of gold coins worth 100. Total 536. I think that what we got there was a secret. I think that counts as a secret. Let me see. Yes, secrets found 1 out of 4. It doesn't tell us when we have gotten a secret in this version. down here there is a speed potion and a healing potion, and there is a readable. Whosoever find this note, I bid thee farewell, for I no longer dwell in your domain of fetid flesh. My essence is now forever preserved in the plane of earth, beyond the reaches of fear and fire. I own my transcendence to the Book of Ash, that tome of legend I recovered so long ago from the sands of long-forgotten kings. Within its pages lie the secrets of life, death, and undeath. The hand forbade its study, for it drove so many into madness, but I have succeeded where others have failed. But be warned, the truth is hidden from the unworthy. Blacken thy heart, or face the prisoners of flesh, as around the cruel. Oh. Oh, come on. There we go. So let's see, how can we do this? So now that one comes up. Yeah. So we're supposed to lower this one to leave the lift the way it was. We cannot put back the panel there. There. Here, 2 gold candlesticks. And if we read this book, this is the Book of Ash then, and this is, I guess maybe Latin or something. 2 zombies will appear, so we do not want to do that, because it's difficult to leave here. You can leave, but it's difficult. I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to go check something real quick. Did that guard get killed now? He did. See?
Quiet, you lumbering ox. You're making enough racket to wake the whole of Dayport.
Well, it's dark, and I can't seize what I'm lifting.
What you'll see is the haft of my sword across your brow if you don't hurry things up. There's a guard in the building, and we're both skewered if he hears you.
All right, but I got me a question. Do we want the gold or the jewelry?
We want whatever you can carry, you tapper. Now hurry it along before we're seen. Or maybe you want to spend a lifetime or two in the sheriff's company?
The sheriff? Where?
Oh, just hurry it up already.
Well, well, housebreakers. How quaint.
Huh. So now we were able to take the loot for Supreme. Because this guard here fumbled his way in here and got killed, and that actually shifted the guard outside a little bit to one direction. That has happened once or twice before, but it's not predictable, so I wasn't going to experiment with it. But if it happens, we can use it. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Then we got that 125 loot after all. Perfect. So then we are at 761, and that is where we're supposed to be. Awesome. Okay. What has happened here? What has happened here? Okay, I gotta check something. So I just had to check, and I think one of this crate here supposed to be here. Like that. It must have bumped over there when I snuck through here a little bit earlier. Let's see. There. That's how it was when we came. Good. Excellent. And we are finally done with this building. Took that plate, we did. That's Sir Colin's Keep. We're going to head that way a little bit later. But now we're going to listen to a conversation here. A funny one.
Oh, but it's just not fair. The season's most ballyhooed social event, and we're not even invited? I am a Rothschild. Don't they understand that? Don't they understand how incredibly important I am?
Shh, I know, dear. But there will be other banquets. Besides, it's not as if we intend to join their silly religion or anything.
Oh, it's not that. It's just that, well...
Yes, my snookums?
Oh, Pumpkin. The Mechanist invited the Bumblesons! The Bumblesons! I mean, they haven't been in the inner circle in years.
Now, Frederick, don't you think you're overreacting just a tad?
No. I am Frederick Juniper Rothschild III, and I deserve more recognition than those commoners.
Oh, I know what we'll do, my sweet. We'll throw our own ball to the abyss with those Mechanists and their private affairs. Besides, they're just looking for supporters. We'll have our own banquet and invite everyone but the Bumblesons. Would that make you happy, my love?
Oh, yes! What an absolutely capital idea!
Awesome conversation. We took their purse, worth 100, total 861. And now we're going to head over to the Shemenov estate. This is the only entrance and exit for us to take there. We gotta grab this rope, and I hope we can grab this.
What was that?
That we can't do. Whoa. What if we do this then? Let's see. Good. That's why it's important to start with multiple rope arrows. Here. Actually, we're gonna go down on this side. Here's the Shemenovs. Or actually, it's that building straight ahead. You can see the chimney has a ladder in it that we're gonna head down, and there's a patrolling guard, and there's an archer here with no arrows, I think, but he stares straight at us. So we have to actually, to get through this area for Supreme is rather difficult. We have to use, I think it is 4 or 5 rope arrows along this upper ledge here, and we have to jump across. I think we need 4, because the 5th one we're going to end up using when we get in there. Actually, let's shoot them from the other side. Okay. One's got to be all the way over there. They got to be close enough for us to easily jump on them and for us to retrieve them afterwards. I think that's pretty good, actually. Still tough to catch arrows in the jump. Make a real save here and then go for it one more time. That's odd. There we go. There we go. So we got to jump not too much. So I got to save it on here and then try to jump directly into a mantle here. We got to get into this chimney here. He turns around slightly when he's heading down the stairs. Oh, didn't do that there. There we go. And here we have a servant. And in this room there are 2 loaves of bread over there in that corner.
Huh?
Oh yeah, we can't move fast here. There's a guard too. I don't think he comes in here. But he's in this building. So we have to go very slowly here. Crouch, creep, strafing. It's the best method of movement here. It's the fastest way of moving without altering the light gem. And one of these is a healing potion. I can't remember which one. Here's the guard. He should come down here and turn around. There is a piece of loot behind that banner. And that's what we have to use the last rope arrow for. That counts as a secret, but I don't think it counts unless you actually slash the banner. But we don't have to. You can see it slightly on the left-hand side once we climb up the rope. But we don't need to... That's property damage, by the way. If you slash banners, that's against all modes, both ghosting and supreme ghosting. So that we can't do. He heard that shot. Difficult to gauge sometimes how far away guards have to be not to hear a rope or an arrow. There we go. Was a necklace? Oh, come on.
Huh?
Just wanted to show you guys what's up here. Real quick. Because this is the back entrance to Shemenov's. And that way we can't take.
Odd noise.
If we take a look out here, there is an archer.
What's that? Who go? We've got
And he guards the room so well. You guys can probably hear my cat here. He guards it so well that there's no way you can get in that way, so this is the only way for us to get this piece of loot. And that was a necklace worth 300. So that is very, very worth it to do. Okay. Depends a little bit on where.
Who's that?
I don't like that. I might have to leap on the side and not onto the... Let's see. I need to get down here before he returns.
What's there?
That's what I need to do before he returns. Okay, I can go a little ways up there before he alerts. Good. Good. We're gonna head in there. There's no loot in there. So I guess I can... No, but there's a secret count I would like to get. Leave that open, shall we? Let's see, how can we do this best? That was there, like that. Okay, so this is actually, let me show you where this is. So this is the other side of the boards that we couldn't break. Remember where the first ghost challenge was. So this is some kind of a stargazer's attic space. If we flip the telescope, this opens and there's a sunburst device or an explosive charge here, and there is a fire arrow. That counts as a secret and we can close it, which is good. His journal is also here. Stargazer's Journal, 67th Evening of Observation. I can stand it no longer. Since my first examinations of that distant globe, that glorious blue jewel, I knew my time here in the city was at an end. For how could I possibly remain content in this quagmire of filth, corruption, and religious fanaticism, when there exists a whole new world just within reach, ripe for exploration? This means my departure is almost within my grasp, despite a recent setback. Brelic was a fine young servant and a dedicated laboratory assistant. Oh, the anguish as I removed his entrails from the plaza's great statue. And, worst of all, I realized it was my miscalculations that cost the lad his life. How could I have been so stupid? The scientific principle is sound, I am sure. Using my patented sunburst device, an explosive of the highest magnitude, a thick wooden box can travel the distance needed to reach the stars. How foolish of me to forget the protective layer of lead. The past is exactly that, and it's time to move on. I have hired a new assistant, a drunken old crone named Hildy, who will make a test flight. The sunburst device will simply be placed under the box and ignited from a distance, and Hildy will soar to that beautiful new world. Once there, she is to communicate with me via smoke signal when it's safe for me to proceed. She is, of course, a bit nervous about the proceedings, but a pint of aged gin should be enough to put her fears to rest. To the stars! Right. Okay. I think that's it. There's nothing else in here. But we got that secret count. That's the most important thing. There. And that's good enough. Here you've got 2 flash bombs, and I believe this is 15 broadhead arrows. Then in here, there's a stack of silver coins worth 60, total 1221.
Who's there?
Okay, so that was kind of a bad timing here, but it is what it is.
Hello?
So now we're basically done in the east, and we can head north through Sir Cullen's Keep and towards the tower.
Who's there? Hello?
Oh, come on. Come on. Too impatient. See, I'm not sure if we can follow him up there. I don't think so. Let's try.
And when are they going to bring me my dinner? That's what I want to know. When are they going to bring me my dinner?
Nothing to be seen now. So wet. Load everywhere.
Hello?
Yeah, we can't do that. It's not enough time. If you're bright yellow, like I am at the top of the stairs there, creep crouch strafing is the fastest way you can move without getting spotted. Creep crouch strafing, or slower than that, is as if you are not moving at all to enemies. Your light gem isn't affected whatsoever. But if you, for example, just crouch strafe, that will flicker in the light gem, and enemies will see it.
Someone making...
He turns around there just gently, so... don't know why I make that clunk when I come up there. All my years of playing Thief, I've not yet been able to avoid that little...
Sir?
that little thing there. I don't know what to do to avoid it. I'm trying to walk forward a little bit, but then he sees me and...
Who's there?
Man, there are so many small areas in this mission that I did not think would take. Okay, so here we have at least an area we can call safe, right? Okay, we're gonna have to wait now. Turns around. Yeah, okay, good. We got past the window there. Oh, he didn't there. Many times he turns around there. So now we have to head back here. Have to grab the arrows on the way here. Great. Good. We have to use the same method, sort of going back here. I believe. There.
Who's there?
What the devil is...
That they didn't hear. Okay, now we're gonna head up here. Show you something first, I guess. First of all, there's 2 fire arrows here. And then that archer has 3 broadhead arrows. But we don't need any of those, of course. We can't go in that door, but we're not going to. Instead, we're going to go through here. There's a gold vase worth 100. Total 1321. We're gonna head through here. You should turn around. Okay, there. Now here's some more pieces of loot that we have to skip. Down here are 3 gold coin stacks, and there's a nobleman. The only way to get down there is to break the window here.
Who are you?
And drop.
Guards! Thief!
As soon as I
Don't let him get away!
There's another garden here, an empty room,
I'm worried. Strange things.
and those 3. And those are worth 75 gold in total. So, so far we've skipped 225. So that we can't take. So this mission obviously is not perfect thievable. We're gonna cross this line of banners here in a little bit, but we're first gonna hit the bank. Now in this room you have 2 water arrows on the mantelpiece, and you have a fire arrow in the actual fireplace itself. The main entrance to the bank is right over here. Okay, there's a guard that's gonna come here soon, I think. He has a key, you might have seen that.
Who's noising about?
Oh, I didn't think I would make noise there. Who's noising about then? Now we have to rob the vault, or the safe, rather. And to open the safe, you have to flip a switch in the main office here. Mr. J.B. Tuttleshank, supervisor. Now that door is pickable, but it's also unlockable with the key that the guard is carrying, and there's another copy of that key inside the office on one of the desks. However, the guard should enter the office for a little bit, so we can prop the door open then, so we don't have to pick the lock or steal any of the keys. That's always nice to keep things untouched. I think he goes in there right now.
Who goes?
So we want to block the door there without making noise. We do that when he goes out again. He should not. Oh, he goes back that way. That's nice. So this is a pickable door, but it's not necessary for us to pick. This is the light switch. Here's the other copy of the key. Now here's the safe. That we have to, or not the safe, but the, yeah, well, it is a safe that protects the switch for the vault. So that we're gonna have to pick open. That doesn't respond to the bank. At least I don't think. No, it doesn't. So that opens the vault door. I'm gonna leave this door open here until I'm done. And in here, a stack of silver coins, 3 stacks of copper coins, a purse, and 8 little gems. And that completed the objective of breaking into the trader's bank. Okay. and read this one. Crimshaw, lock the receipts in the safe this time, or you'll taste the lash. Though I can't prove it, I suspect one of the night watchmen of having sticky fingers. If not every penny is accounted for in the morning, it'll come out of your backside. And another thing, Senor Valencia will be by in the morning to pick up his diamonds. Make sure you log the transfer and extend every courtesy we have available. Valencia is a client I do not want to lose. Tuttleshank. Well, I think you're going to lose him. I think you're going to lose him. So we don't need to read that really. But what we need to do is lock the vault back up. And do that. Okay. I'm gonna make a real save here, and then I'm gonna show you guys something. What is at the other end of this place? That'll also introduce my second ghost challenge for this mission. Yeah, so he saw me now, the guy at the other side here.
Nothing making noise now.
Okay, so here you have one archer with arrows and another archer with arrows on the other side.
Something there.
If we head through this window,
Noise stopped.
here. This is the back of Shemenov's, the upper back entrance. He also has an arrow, or arrows. So my ghost challenge for you guys is
Seems quiet enough.
to get from, so this is the ghost challenge number 2, is to get from the double doors over here and get all the arrows from these 3 guards and get on top of that roof right there, the wooden roof, without taking any busts for Supreme, so without any first alerts. And without using any moss arrows or any other kind of equipment that isn't allowed for Supreme. So from the double doors, get all the 3 sets of arrows, and end up on that roof. Anywhere on that roof is okay. So that is your ghost challenge number 2. Good luck with that one. I would say that one is medium. It's not very hard. It's certainly not easy. You try to jump off of ledges. You have to be perfect in when you take off.
Over there! Stand forth and declare yourself!
I'm just going to show you what lies beyond that roof.
Who's there? Hello?
What's that?
Here. Because this is, now we are moving north from Dayport Traders Bank towards Lady Louisa's suite. This is one way to get to the tower. In here. You can go through, there are 2 open windows, one at this end, one at the other. And there are 2 pieces of loot in there. But at either window, there are women staring straight at the window, and the windows are completely lit up.
Is that you, Kevin?
I surrender.
I don't
Help!
like this.
Help! There's someone in here.
No need for alarm,
See, there's another-
just passing through.
There was another woman in blue over there. She has a purse worth 100, and there's a gold vase worth 100
Help!
here.
Someone! There's an intruder!
So, similar here, there's no way to get in either way, or to get through this area, or to get the loot or anything for Supreme, or for Ghost. So that's 200 more loot that we have to skip. So that's a total of 425 loot skipped for both Ghost and Supreme. And that's all you have to skip for Ghost. There's a little bit more loot you have to skip for Supreme that we'll get to. Now we have to just wait for this guy to leave, and then we can head towards the tower. A couple more smaller places we have to cover, but... There's one more ghost challenge. There's 3 in total for this mission. There are some people in the streets here, but I don't think they alert us.
Careful.
I know the guy in the bank can alert, 'cause he can see us. Guess they didn't see us. We have to head through there. Might hear a spider around? Just show you. Oh, he is second alerted. Okay, well that I don't want, but I'll show you what's in there. You can't get everything in there for Supreme. I mean, there's no loot in there, so it doesn't matter. Here we go, there's a spider, and the spiders, if you don't know, spiders actually see with their rear end. So this guy's actually facing east, like that. All spiders do that in Thief 1 and 2. Horticulture is slog. Growing a new strain of mushrooms supplied by my new friends. They actually give off a substantial amount of light. Considering abandoning the powered lamps and replacing them all with mushrooms, I can imagine the look on Theodore's face. Long Daddy has proven to be quite the gardener assistant. Today he intercepted a carrion diver that was headed right for the rhododendron. Those little buggers have destroyed more of my plants than I care to remember. I may just let Long Daddy web up the entire eastern end of the greenhouse if it will stop the insect from getting through. I've been contracted out to build an enormous terrarium for Thistlewell. Ah, the rich and their luxurious, or their luxuries, Anna. Okay. Now in here, you can see there's a gas arrow, but there's also 2 moss arrows. You can't see the second one, but it's right there, there and there. The gas arrow, though, we can't get to without getting a first alert, or actually a 3rd level alert from this guy, like that. You can get the moss arrows if you are ghosting, for example, and you like to pick up all the loot. Let's see. How do we get in here? Empty room. But then at this end, guy with a healing potion. And ooh. A gold candlestick that we want. Worth 50, total 1698. Let's see. Yep. Now I don't think we can jump over there, can we? I don't think we can. because we'll make a clunk and it'll alert. Alert the spider, I believe. I actually think that we need to use a rope here. I haven't found a good way to... get up here. We want to head in here. And we have to pick the lock on this. This has a piece of loot in it. Very long pick. Stack of gold coins worth 30. And that reached the loot objective, 1700s. We have 1728. Now we are right by the tower.
So, that's the castle of the future. I'll take my tenement any day of the week.
There we go. Nice. So we have to actually get over here. Climb up. Like that. Can't get caught up here actually by this guard. Okay, now the intended route is when we come from this end, not through Lady Louise's house, is to go in through this window, which will take us to the ballroom entrance, which will take us to the 7th. No, the ballroom above the 8th floor. The ladder is from the 7th floor, but goes up to the 9th, which is the ballroom. Now, I'm actually not going to go in that way. Because that'll trigger a conversation that will trigger the patrol route of Vilnius. He has a key that we need, so we need to trigger his patrol later, but it means that he will be roaming around on the 8th floor, where we are going to end up being right now. So I don't want that extra patroller there. Instead, we're going to jump over this way. Like that. And this is actually the entrance that we would have gotten to if we had passed through Lady Louise's house, which is right down there. And to get down here, there's a manhole cover here that'll take us into the tower. We have to jump into a mantle here. Oh, that was a bad jump. To get down here, we have to land. Not like that. I think my first angle was good, it's just that I didn't jump. That's good. Very close. These leaps or jumps that end in mantles are not engine exploits. Like that. That's a part of the engine, so that's supposed to be possible. Actually, I guess I can show you that on this side there are a couple of guards. A drunk guard and one that's passed out. Right here. From what I can remember, he will spot you. See that? He sees you, even if you are the slightest in view. So there's no way of getting down here, I think, and there's no way of getting in or out of Lady Louise's house anyway, so it's a lost cause. go indeed, and now we infiltrated the Mechanist tower. We can get heard here. Man, those... So we can actually see down below fireplaces in some of the rooms. So this one we can't get into. This one we can. What you saw there was a mech servant. They don't give first alerts. There's another one coming in from the right there. Let's real save it there. Here are 2 loaves of bread, 3 apples, 1 deer leg, 2 more loaves of bread here, and a note. Brethren, I have left Brother Vilnius in charge this evening. Until I return, his word is mine. The guard on the office door will be rotated every 3 hours, though I don't anticipate any of our guests being curious enough to try to gain entrance. As an added precaution, Vilnius holds the only key. That is nice to know. Most of the tower's alarms have also been disabled, to prevent our guests from causing any mishaps. I expect the nobility to mind their manners, but remain ever vigilant. Brother cares. There. So again, those servants don't give any first alerts, which is nice. In this pantry, there is a footlocker with loot that we have to pick. Golden plate, worth 50 total, 1778. We're gonna head out into... Oh. That's nice. Timing, actually. There's nothing that way. We can get back into the kitchen that way. Closet is empty. We're gonna follow this guy, and he has a key that we don't need to pick. Because that works on this door. Can just prop open like that. Let's read this. Born without fang with which to feed us, shell to protect us, or fur to shelter us. We were born to a world that would not protect us. In defiance against nature, forced to slavery, cursed to live as thieves, we were dependent on the trees and creatures of our very survival. So came the Master Builder and brought us from the darkness, breathing craft into our hands, skill into our minds, creation into our souls. Captives and thieves nevermore, we forged nature into the tools to serve us. Our cities reaching higher than the mountain peaks, our lights more brilliant than the heavens. New scripture of the Master Builder. I think he leaves through that bedroom. Yes, he does. Here's the safe that we gotta pick. Artifact worth 20, 4 stack of gold coins worth 100, and a stack of silver coins worth 12. Total 1910. Here, I believe, is a chest with a healing potion. Here's another copy of Kara's quarters key, which was the same one that that other guy carried. And in here, I think, is just a big hammer. Just a junk item. in there, so we're gonna head out this way. Now this is, I believe, Brother Carlysle, Lord Carlysle, a brother, and he has the Carlysle Armory key. So this is then the reason why we have to go here first, and why we have to go back later. In this hallway we can also find another secret. There's a button here that opens a panel in the wall that has a healing potion and a speed potion. But we can't close this. There's no way to close this up. So I'm not going to do that. That would be like opening a door and leaving it open when you don't have to. I guess that wouldn't be a bust to Supreme, but it wouldn't be worth it. Head in here. Now this might be Lord Bafford here, I don't know. But he has a purse regardless, worth 5, total 1950. Let me show you something here. It's interesting because this mission, as opposed to Life of the Party, you can actually get to the roof. And there are several patrollers on the roof. There's no way of getting there besides going through one of the fireplaces here. And I think this is the best one to get through. So, a challenge for you guys, wouldn't be a ghost challenge, but it would be a challenge nonetheless, is to get up here with only a single crate. With one crate, there's several on this floor, one in the closet in the hallway. You can get all the way up to, through this chimney, up to the roof, with a single crate. So try that. Another challenge, just for the fun of it. Not sure if you can do that in Old Dark, but in New Dark you can. We're gonna head out now. Back out that way. I think this is good timing, actually. I think we are safe here. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So there's one of the guards on this floor. There's not a floor plan shown anywhere, I think. Nope. There's another guard over there. He is guarding Karis's office. There was also another deer leg in the kitchen I didn't show you. On a table just to the left after the entry. Okay, in here, get another deer leg. No, sorry, there was a cheese there. In the kitchen. Anyway, foods don't really matter. Here's a gold goblet and a bottle of wine. Total 75 those two, so 1990. Get in here. This is a difficult area, and this is one of the areas that would have been a lot more difficult if Vilnius had been patrolling. Okay, this is actually perfect here. Now I'm gonna not...
Stand forth!
and speak.
Knock this guy out so I can read
Guess
the
it was
Angelwatch guest list. Master guest list. Dorcas Goodfellow in attendance. Now, he is actually an ambassador for the Blackbrook Underguild. And I think that was instructed in one of the readables in the mission Assassins in Thief Gold. Lord Bafford in attendance. Madame Denier declined invitation. Pagan sympathizer. Lord Gervasius in attendance. And Gervasius, if you remember from Braun Gervasius is his name, from Thief Gold, he actually wrote the note that requested the masks in Lost City. And he's a good friend of Lord Bafford's as well. There's a little bit of background info there. Ramirez, no response. Sir Christopher in attendance. Marie Eleonora in attendance. Archduke Damour in attendance. Cornelius Pennybuckle, Esquire, in attendance. Master Willie in attendance, but quietly escorted off tower grounds. Wanton drunkenness. Duchess Alexandra Kurinov in attendance. Lady Louisa in attendance. Squire Shaunus declined, touring with the city's Rumpleball League. Lady Van Vernon in attendance. Joseph Fieldstone in attendance. The Bumblesons, Winifred and Archibald in attendance. Thistlewell in attendance. Evel de Ravencourt in attendance. The Rothschilds, Frederick and Penelope. No response. Misplaced invitation. Sir McAllister Crom in attendance. Brandy Ridge in attendance. Madame Robillard in attendance. Lord Carlysle in attendance, retired early. Master Cranley in attendance. Sir Allard McCrellis in attendance. Bandley Rothhofer declined on holiday in Shalebridge. Interesting. Okay, we're going to make a run for it here. We're going to get a couple of gold goblets here.
Who's there?
2 gold goblets and his purse without getting that plate and throwing it every which way. We're going to get her purse too. And get out of here pretty quickly, I hope. There we go. I knew he was coming back. We gotta wait for him to come back again. I think we can do that on this side. So what we took was 2 golden goblets worth 25 each. The purse from the man there was worth 15, and the purse from the woman was worth 20. So we should have a total of 20.75. There's also a cheese on the table by the man there. So you have to creep, crouch, strafe. Again, that's the fastest way of movement without, getting spotted or without increasing the light gem's visibility. So that's how I got through this room without any first alerts. And Vilnius comes through this room quite a lot, so it will be a lot more difficult with him there. So now we can go out here. So the important thing now, so this is down to the lower floors.
Let's go this way.
This is locked off, but obviously those floors would be available to visit in Life of the Party. So this is the ballroom then. Here we have to tread very carefully. This is a light switch that turns off the lights in this northern part. There's a nobleman over here. He has a purse worth 10. And then there's a couple, you can only see the man here, behind the fountain. They have 2 more purses. The man's is worth 10, and the woman's is worth 20. Now that man you see over there, his purse was not existing in the original release of this demo. It was a piece of loot that was incorrectly linked in Dromed, I think. but his has been fixed now. So that last 10 loot is therefore available. So max loot can be gotten in this mission now, as opposed to in the original release. And we're going to listen to the conversation between Vilnius then and a guard. The open window. You can see here, that's the one that we were intended to enter earlier, but that we skipped. And this woman here has a purse too that we will take a little bit later.
These are strange times indeed, when the builders chosen must cater to the folly of the unworthy. Present company excluded, of course, Sergeant Kirk.
Of course. Personally, I find the city's nobility to be pretentious, pompous, and filled with misconceptions about their own self-worth. But it serves our purposes to stay on their good side, doesn't it, Vilnius? I have to admit, though, that their presence makes me a bit nervous. You're sure the schematics are safe?
Completely sure, friend Kirk. They rest securely in the central office. There's a faithful brother at the door, and I carry the only key. Besides, the brethren long to put steel to flesh, for they've not tasted righteous battle in far too long. They will guard our common interests with their lives, if need be.
Good. You put me at ease. Maybe I'll relax my guard a bit and partake of some of your wine.
An excellent idea, friend Kirk. The builder's nectar is the finest our order has to offer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must attend to our guests.
There we go. So we're not going to take his key now. That's actually pretty difficult to do here. But we will return because we have to come back for the Carlysle key and for the Mechanist schematics, of course, which is our main objective. And that's what we need his key for. So we will, of course, do that. We're going to go ahead and grab her purse and a bottle of wine on the right there before we leave now through the window. Vilnius will come back up here as a part of his route. This is worth 20. Total 20.95. This bottle here is worth 50, total 21.45. Now, my third and last ghost challenge for you guys for this mission is I want you guys to get the 3 other purses in this ballroom for ghost. Not for supreme, of course, that can't be done, but for ghost. So that means you can turn off lights, you can use moss arrows, take first alerts, anything like that, but you cannot bust ghost and get all 3 purses and get back to this area here. Or back to this western wall. Start there and come back there. There we go. So now we just have to go back to Carlysle, Castle Carlysle, and get in there. We don't have to actually take anything there. We just have to get in there. There's no loot there. There's one more piece of loot somewhere else that we have to get on the way. Let's see. Not sure if we're safe here, actually. 100% sure. Now we have to go back through Sir Cullen's Keep, and we have to pass the roof just by the Housebreakers. In order to reach Castle Carlysle. So Supreme does require a little bit of back and forth sometimes, especially with keys.
What's that?
Oh, he sounded like he was closer. That was max bad timing. Oh. Okay, let's just wait. Let's just wait. The problem is you get too impatient and make mistakes. We can probably just...
Someone behind me?
Oh. I guess actually... better to go out the window, to be honest with you. Yeah, because we can just travel across the tops of that tower, I guess. I guess we'll do it this way then. So now we just got to make sure that we don't get spotted by the housebreaker here. By this guy. It's a pretty nice drop.
Him again. It comes up with money.
Is there anything to pick up here? I don't think so. Okay, now there is a guard. Actually can't see us here. That guard. So now we have headed west from the apartments, and this is the last area then to cover. So there are 2 archers, 1 stationary, 1 patrolling. They both have arrows, 6 in total then. So we're gonna approach them from the west, but take the last piece of loot first. It's over here. Always get a clunk here. Too far away to hear it, so. There's last building is right here. You can find a tiara worth 125, total 2270, and that's max for Supreme. And I'll break down everything that we have skipped at the end. I want to drop down here. Okay, here's a guard too, and he spins around, I think. He does. I want to go ahead and read paper here. Trondheim, which is a city in Norway, by the way. You are correct in recommending Tall Camric & Sons for our recent contracting needs. Their craftsmanship is truly remarkable, as evidenced by our new armory door. It's made of pit-forged steel, interwoven with black iron and coated with titanium resin, or something like that. It would take the power of the sun itself to blast that portal open. In the unlikely event that we are attacked, the men should come to one of us to gain access to the armory. Remember the 30-day siege at Castle Morendrum, old friend? Ah, to be young again. It is truly a shame that the guards must be kept from the very tools of their profession, but such blatant misuse of fire arrows simply cannot be tolerated. Alas, the poor Burrick. Carlysle. Okay, I'm not gonna bother with that. So we are going to ready our...
Thought I saw some.
Yeah, so he it turns kind of randomly. There. So you see, we check that off as soon as we enter the door. Now in here, you can find 5 water arrows, a gas arrow, 10 fire arrows, 20 broadheads, a flare, a gas mine, a mine, 2 rope arrows, and 3 noisemaker arrows. So obviously if you're not ghosting, or even some of these you can use for ghosts, that would be highly useful. There, so we're going to head over. Head over this direction. And now we are just heading back to the tower to replace the Carlysle armory key. And to, of course, get the mech schematics. It wasn't too easy to get up here. Who am I kidding? That was pretty easy. Let me just see. Yeah, there's stuff that I shouldn't have here. Baby crib in here. Kind of weird.
Strange noise.
He heard that. Travel along the edge here. Edge of the ledge. Don't make any sound really. So getting into the... we still haven't taken any Supreme busts. Remember that. We've skipped some loot, but we haven't busted Supreme. Now, to get into the main office, we are going to end up busting Supreme. And I thought that for this updated version, that we weren't even going to be able to get in there for ghosts. So I'll talk a little bit about that when we get there. But that's the major problem we have remaining here. Just like before, we're going to head in through the manhole cover. We're not going to go back up through the window. Of course, now we have Vilnius to worry about also. But I don't think that should be too big of a deal. He has a rather long patrol, but he stays in a lot of the rooms that we need to be in. We're going to first return the Carlysle key.
That protects us from the squalid past. Knowledge is our weapon, with which we carve a path to life in the future.
Oh, so there was Vilnius. He is stationed for a little bit in the kitchen. So we have to, of course, not be here when he is here. So I don't know if we can see him leave. I think we should be able to. He should leave this way. I don't think he goes further south from this. And of course, it says when your objectives have been completed, get out of the tower and back to the city. We don't have to go back to the city. We can leave through the manhole, and as soon as we get out of the manhole, we are considered to be back in the city. So we're not going to leave through the window. Vilnius stays a long time in each location. There he is.
What was that?
Why on earth can't I'm crouching and I'm walking off the edge there. It's so beautiful that those servants don't alert anything. Oh, and that's nice timing. Now we have to drop this back. Let's do that, shall we?
What's up?
There, that's good enough. Okay, so I can go over there. Now we have to find Vilnius and take his key. He could be upstairs, actually. That might actually be where he is. Let me run upstairs and see.
I thought I saw something.
Thought I saw something.
There he is. I don't want him to go over there because I can't get to him there. Now, like I said, getting into the office is a little bit troublesome. I'm going to wait here for the patrols to be beneficial. Let me explain. Now, in the original release, what I had to do is I had to sneak around the corner, rush in behind the guard, and push him out so that I could open the door and get inside. We have to do the same thing now, but in a little bit of a different way. And we also have to take a first alert from him when we unlock the door, I believe. But in this version, you cannot run over to him in behind him in a normal way. He will alert. There seems to be a proximity trigger that... Please don't come down here. Yeah, okay, he goes in the kitchen. That's good. Let's make it real safe. We have to instead rush around the corner here.
Thought I saw.
Then we have to use the office key.
No one walks here now.
We have to use the door. And then we have to push him.
Hello?
Without getting that leap there. That can be a little bit tough.
Hello?
I tried
Show
so many
thyself.
different ways of doing this. But I realized that the doors block his view.
I know not what it was. Who is there? Is someone there?
Now we're going to push him forward, which obviously is also a supreme bust. It's an engine exploit.
Is someone...
Oh, come on. Okay. Well, that's how we do it anyway. Now you saw the method. So until I figured out that the
Who
door
is there?
blocked his view,
Is someone there?
I tried all sorts of
All
ways
is quiet now. I hope.
of getting in behind him. I tried to throw boxes to push him around. I tried rope arrows in the door frame. All sorts of different things. When I finally realized the simplicity of the solution, it was just baffling to me.
Hello? Who art thou? All is quiet now. Intruder! Something moved, thought I saw. I know not what it was. Because so... I hope... Intruder!
Okay, I don't know why I'm not getting it now.
Thou shalt... Whence came thee? Thou shalt bring.
This is strange.
Intruder!
We'll get it. We just have to try a few times.
Hello? Show thyself. Intruder! Hello? Thou shalt. Intruder!
It's like I'm being snagged on something here that I don't understand.
Hello? Show thyself.
Now, there, now, come on. I just gotta finish this before the other guard comes back, that's the problem.
Who goes there?
Ah! It started skipping right there, so I snagged on the...
Thou shalt break.
I'll sum up what we did and what busts we're gonna take.
Hello? Show thyself.
There's an idle movement that he has to make for me to slide.
Over there.
So then I don't have time.
Who is there? Is someone there?
Come on.
Chase away the hoofed liar, roof and doorway, block and beam, chase the trickster from our brood.
Good. Now we're in. The only thing in here is the schematic, and that we have to take behind this. But if we...
Time to get the goods and get out of here while I still can.
push the button to open it, the alarm goes off. Obviously we can't do that. So we instead have to take it through the window. No, behind here without... And that we can do... You can take it from the side without actually... No. You can't take it from the left side here without problems. There we go. There's a certain area where you can imagine that Garrett can slip his hand in behind and take the Mechanist schematics. So that isn't an engine exploit either. There are sometimes things you can take through banners and through painting, stuff like that. This isn't a solid surface. I mean, the painting, you can imagine, can be squeezed out a little bit. So the Mechanist schematics is then checking off our last objective. Now we just have to leave. Oh, whoa. We have to wait for him to leave, too. Dear Vilnius.
No one walks here now.
So that's his settling remark from alerting to the door.
And the faithful spoke, saying, Lo, with the scepter of righteousness as justice.
Okay, that was Vilnius left. Or, now we just have to wait for that guard to come back.
Hello? Show thyself.
So he gives another alert there, that's inevitable. There we go. Now he's in a constant first alert state. We can go around here. And leave. Okay. Let's... No. We didn't lock the door. We gotta lock it. Let's go back to that one. Yeah, we gotta lock the door. We basically just have to drop the...
No one walks here now.
Drop the office key anywhere along Vilnius's patrol route, and then leave through the fireplace, and the mission should end. And then the guard comes back.
Who is there? Is someone there?
There we go. I guess we can actually... Yeah, there we go. So that's how you do it. You just have to use the door in this version. I don't know if the guard is stationed further forward or something. Oh, of course he saw me there. Double check. Oh. And now I forget to drop the office key. Good, I checked. So that we have to do. We can do it here. Anywhere along a patrol route is okay to drop it. Now, we have what we need. Right. Good. Okay. So, good start to our Thief 2 campaign. Of course, it'll be interesting to see the differences between this version and the actual life of the party. But that's in a good 10 mission time. I might do a few other missions in between, just like I did for Thief Gold. I've started to catch up a little bit on the anniversary contest missions for Thief 1. The Thief 2 contest will soon be released in a couple of months, so I'm a little bit behind there. There we go, mission complete. Awesome. So stats. Total time, 1 hour, 40 minutes, 46 seconds. Found 2270 loot out of 2735. So we skipped a total of 465 loot. First and foremost, we skipped 150 in a blue chest in a building with 2 swordsmen that were close to the Housebreakers, a little bit east-southeast of the Housebreakers, east of Fieldstone. And you had to break a window to get in there, and that's not allowed. That's property damage. That's not allowed for Ghost or Supreme. We skipped 75 more. When we did not take the 3 stacks of gold coins in a nobleman's house where you had to again break glass, but this was the roof glass to get down there. Again, property damage is not allowed. And then we finally had to, for Ghost that is, skip 200 loot a person of gold vase in Lady Louise's house. You cannot pass through that apartment in any direction, so you have to skip those 2 pieces. And for Supreme we had to skip 40 more, 3 purses in the ballroom at Angelwatch. 1 worth 20 and 2 worth 10 each. So that's a total of 465. That takes us down to 2270. Pockets picked 7 out of 28. Locks picked 5. Backstab 0. Knockout 0. Damage dealt 0. Damage taken 0. Healing taken 0. Innocents killed none and others killed 0. Iron Beast destroyed 0. Disabled 0. Bodies discovered by enemies 1. That's probably the swordsman that got killed by the thieves and the Housebreakers. Secrets found 2 out of 4. We could not get the count for the necklace or the tiara, was it, at Shemenov's, because it's behind a banner and you have to actually slash the banner to get a count for the secret. And I didn't want to leave the door open in the middle of the hallway in the tower at the end there, where you had to push the button in the statue. So I found all of them for you, but we didn't get to the counts. So there we are. An unwelcome guest. We did bust Supreme. We ghosted the mission, but we did not Supreme it. So when you don't Supreme the mission, you do as much as you can for Supreme, and then you report what busts you took at the end. So we took all of our busts in the same area when we were, getting into the office, getting into Karis's office. First, we took a first alert when we rounded the corner to get closer to the guard there. Then we took another alert when we opened the door. We took a bust when we pushed the guard out of the way so we could get into the office. That's an engine exploit. That's allowed for Ghost as a last resort. And it is certainly last resort, but for Supreme that is not allowed. And we took another first alert when we left, because we had to reopen the door from the inside. So I guess a total of 4 busts for Supreme, but they were all in the same, situation. But it's still as Supremeable as we could do it. I don't see that there's any way of getting in there without busting Supreme, so I think this is as good as I can do, at least. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm not sure what mission I'll do next, I'll see. But we will soon start Mission 1, Running Interference with Thief 2. I'm not sure if that'll be the next one, I don't think so, but I'll see you when I see you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.